Hello, I'm Vanessa Rose, and welcome to my short series on happy organs, happy body. So, I'm going to be presenting a short series of videos on each of the organs of your body. Now, each video we're going to look at a different organ, and I'll be giving you a background about each, looking at it through the lens of traditional Chinese medicine, energy medicine, intuitive medicine, and also astrology. In traditional Chinese medicine and other Eastern styles of healthcare, the organs of the body, which include the liver, the spleen, the heart, the kidneys, the lungs, the stomach, and the intestines, these are the primary focus in health. Essentially, if we have happy and well-functioning organs, our entire body runs like a beautiful ecosystem. According to traditional Chinese medicine, each organ has its time of lowest energy in the day and of highest energy in the day. This is called the TCM organ body clock. In essence, this organ body clock teaches us that energy runs through different meridians of our body at different times of the day. And these meridians can be thought of like channels that send energy to different organs in order to take care of the whole body. But if there is a blockage in any of these channels, then the energy can't pass through the meridian, which causes a build-up or a stagnation. And additionally, in all forms of astrology, each star sign, or when you're born, has an organ which relates to different elements and a different organ that you are more sensitive to the health of. In energy medicine, we have emotions that relate to the different parts of our bodies. So this week, let us look at the spleen. So the spleen is on your left-hand side under your ribs. So if you're struggling with bloating, constipation, a dull complexion, brain fog, like an inability to concentrate and think clearly, if you have excess worries and anxiousness, frequent fatigue, also reflux, if you bruise a little more easily than others, and my personal issue, sugar cravings. Sugar cravings are related to the spleen. If you have any swelling, if you have a pale tongue, and finally, if you have frequent urination. You may have a spleen qi deficiency. So spleen qi is a really commonly diagnosed imbalance in traditional Chinese medicine. Essentially, it means that the functioning of the organs of digestion are weak. They've been compromised, or they're not working to their full capacity. And in addition to those symptoms, this spleen deficiency has another related pattern, one which is about yang qi specifically lacking, which is the sort of more masculine action qi. Symptoms of a spleen yang deficiency also include feeling cold, having cold limbs, being overweight or obese, having loose stools, and also sharp abdominal pain. If you have any of these things, your spleen may not be happy. And interestingly, the spleen is most commonly the most abused energetic system in our culture, with the liver being a close second. So spleen energy can be fractured by disordered eating, overeating, sugar, eating while working, overeating, and also digestive issues. So when our spleen is overtaxed, one major symptom is that our body produces a lot more mucus. This can then carry over into the winter and autumn months with worsening allergies and sinus issues, more head colds and coughs as well. So we can work on strengthening and tonifying our various organs at any time, but the most powerful time to nourish an organ is in its associated season. So for the spleen, it's actually now, which is late summer here in the southern hemisphere. So it's a good time for us in the southern hemisphere to look at our spleen energy. So here are 5 ways that you can tonify or bring more energy back to the spleen. The first one is having more warm cooked foods. The spleen thrives on warm, easily digestible foods, and porridge is the perfect example. It's really nourishing for the spleen. Also, cooked sweet potato, carrots, winter squash and corn are all really good too. Warmth tonifies and soothes the spleen. The second thing is limit the sweets. The spleen does not like really sweet sweets. But if you have to have something sweet, then choose foods that are naturally sweet, like cherries, dates, mangoes, papaya, persimmon, and pineapple. The third thing is there must be an enjoyment of your food. Our taste buds are connected to the meridians of our body, and these have direct access to our organs. If you enjoy every mouthful of your food, chi flows, and this then enhances your nutrient absorption and boosts your health. If something tastes bland or unappealing, we consciously or subconsciously resist it. And the flow of chi in the meridians is then blocked, which then disrupts the digestive process. So the problem with many fad diets is that they have a lot of bland, unappealing types of regimes. They may have 0 carbs or only raw foods or all protein or only fat or only meat. So there's not a lot for our taste buds or our organs to love here. And these diets often come with a sense of deprivation as well, which then runs contrary to eating healthy. So there needs to be a lovely melange or combination of flavors in your healthy eating. It's more like a celebration, you're eating then, not a chore, because eating joylessly weakens our spirit. And our spirit wants as much celebration and joy and love in each day as well as in each meal as possible. And it is our job to deliver that. The fourth thing is to set aside time to eat consciously. In TCM, the way you eat is just as important as what you eat, as it is a determinant in the development of the symptoms which underpin every single lifestyle disease that we have now. Eating while rushed or while multitasking impairs our nutrient absorption. It also leads to bloating, intoxicity, and weight gain. So the goal is to eat slowly, without distraction from TV, devices, and to eat mindfully, enjoying the flavors, like savoring the flavors and the textures and pausing between mouthfuls, not shoveling the food in your mouth. How you eat determines the experience that your cells in your body and your body have with food, and also the outcome of how it makes you feel. And finally, the fifth thing is to respect the circadian rhythm of the body when it comes to spleen time. Spleen time is 9 to 11 a.m. in the morning. The spleen has its most powerful time in our circadian clock between 9 and 11 a.m. This is when the body is at its strongest. It's yang time. It's time to work hard and to use our mind. The materials that the spleen needs to be successful at this time are the energy produced from your exercise earlier in the day, also the nutrients from your really, really nourishing breakfast, and and also your mental and emotional state whilst you were eating. This is the time you have the most potent focus and concentration. Memorizing and studying is advised between 9 and 11 as well. It's a really, really good time to build a solid foundation for your body and mind. Because if you work hard at this time, when the spleen is at its highest energy, it synergizes you. It synergizes you for a really good day, because you can feel better for the rest of the day as you will be working with the natural rhythms of the body, with the flow, the natural flow of the chi, and then it encourages all of your organs to function well. You don't want to overwork, but you also don't want to underwork. It's not a good time for lying around watching TV, because your spleen is associated with your muscles if you are lethargic and not doing anything. The muscles weaken, they can't control fat, and you get puffy and you can start getting a retention of fluid. So this is one of the causes of a lot of bulge of flesh around the abdomen for both men and women, according to Joost Sauer, who is the Grand Master of traditional Chinese medicine. So we don't want lethargic mornings, and we don't want overactive nights. That's a reversed lifestyle. So I hope these 5 little tips have given you a bit of something to think about when it comes to your spleen. Look at those if you have any of those symptoms, and if this may resonate with you. I'm going to be presenting a different organ each month, but this month I'm going to focus on the spleen. One of the most difficult things in terms of life diseases that we have in the world at the moment is diabetes, obesity. Sugar consumption is out of control, and this is something that directly relates to the spleen. So let's focus on the spleen this month and get our spleens in balance. So reach out if you have any questions.